This is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. No matter where you are in the world, you are listening to Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio. All the latest and greatest in news, sports, entertainment, reality TV. And today we're going to be covering celebrity boxing and more with my good friend Antonio Sabàto Jr. We're both here on the East. Wait a minute, are you still on the West Coast, Antonio, or are you on the East Coast?
No, I'm on the East Coast. I left the West Coast a long time ago. Yeah.
Are you permanently here?
I'm in Florida permanently. I've been living here for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow. Oh, so that's why you've got this sparkly good tan going on here.
Yeah, you got that
right. You are in decades worth of... there needs to be awards for someone like you for everything you've accomplished.
Well, we're just starting out. This is the beginning. We still got a long way to go.
We've got acting. We've got race car driving. We've got now boxing. I don't even want to call it celebrity boxing because you're showing up to this event.
Oh, this is a serious event. This is a serious boxing event. I'm very proud of the work that I put into the sport for many years, and now I'm going to showcase my talent. So I'm very excited about that.
So can we say this is, as you said, serious, but they're calling it celebrity boxing because of who you are and who your opponent is. But once again, you're conditioned, you're showing up, you work out 7 days a week, twice a day from what you told me.
Yep, correct.
I think
this is just celebrity boxing, obviously, for my background as an actor and all that stuff, but it's not a sanctioned fight. So I'm fighting in my weight category, which is 168 super middleweight, but it's not sanctioned. That's the only difference. But it is a boxing event. Everything goes down the same way, and you can get knocked out the same way, and you can fight the same way, and it's a sport. It's just not sanctioned. That's all.
Is this going to continue to be an ongoing sport for you?
Yeah, well, it's been my sport for my entire life, and I love it so much. And now because it's really taken off. See, I started this celebrity boxing years ago. In the 90s, me and my trainer, Chris Steele, we were going to fight Roy Jones for a celebrity match that didn't go down because we're both extremely busy at the time. But we had a contract. We were going to go. So this whole Jake Paul and all these YouTubers and all this other celebrity boxing going on, I started a long time ago. It didn't come in fruition. But I feel that this is my time, and that's my time to do it, to shine. And I'm going to showcase my talent in September. I want to have another fight in December at the end of the year. So I'm looking to do at least 2 fights this year.
So do we have, it's this Saturday though, the 28th, 7:30, you're going to be at Harrah's, correct?
Yeah, that's a press conference. Okay. We're gonna really start the pre-camp because next week I'm going to be in camp in Los Angeles at Venice Beach, a steel boxer with Chris Steele, my trainer, my coach, and the entire team. And we're going to have a 9 weeks of training camp. And then the fight is in September 26th, in Philadelphia.
Do you believe, Antonio, when you show up for this, they're going to really experience what boxing is all about, different from what we've seen with the Paul brothers? Yeah,
well, I feel that boxing over the years, my favorite times of the boxing era were the 80s. The Sugar Ray Leonard, the Hagler, Tommy Hearns. And Tommy Hearns is a friend, and I know his son too, his family, good people. My manager, she's a Hall of Famer, Jackie Callan, and she took me on. She really believes, she has an experience of years of managing the top-notch champions, right? And she saw me and she really believes in me. And that made me feel this is the right team that I have. It's just perfect, and to have her in my corner, to have Chris Steele in my corner, It's fascinating and it's beautiful, and it's at the right time. And like I said, the '80s were a time where boxing was, you stuck and move. The finesse of boxing was different. And now, I mean, nowadays everybody just fights the same way. They square off. They fight the same way. The big shots and the dancing, the finesse, the long jabs, all that stuff, technique and all. It's kind of out the door. Everybody fights the same exact way, and I don't fight that way. I make the sport look beautiful in the ring. And there's something about it that I've always enjoyed. The Sugar Ray Leonard and also Muhammad Ali, with the way they did things and made, they used to have that snap that people went down, and you're like, how did that happen? That's fake. Now you want the big shots and you want the knockouts. That's and I'm gonna get to knockout and I'm gonna get all those things, but I'm gonna make it look a lot better. And the way that I train, the way I take the sport serious, I don't just train for 9 weeks. I mean, of course, I'm going to camp now and I'm taking it to another level, but I'm constantly training 7 days a week, 365, all year long for decades. Not just now. I'm not just starting the box because I'm doing a celebrity match. I've been boxing my whole life. And so I want to have my time to showcase what hard work and dedication, and in your 50s, you can do when the whole world is saying, well, I'm going to get knocked out, I'm going to lose, you're over the hill. All this negativity does not touch me. I'm untouchable. I'm in a way right now like a racing horse that the negativity only makes me stronger. People that doubted me are going to come and watch the fight. The way the attention that we've been getting on this fight is astronomical. I see it on the numbers. I see it on the views. I see it on the way that people, they want to see me lose, and then the people want to see me win. So you get the best of both worlds. But I'm going to showcase something that is really awesome, and I can't wait. And it's a matter of time. And I was just so driven by this for a long time, and it's finally happening.
I'm excited for you and I'm proud of you. Seriously.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
To go through the history of your accomplishments, it's beyond the scope of what we see when we think about actors and professional fighters and race car drivers like yourself. Once again, for those that are tuning in, we've got Antonio Sabàto Jr. We are here to talk about everything from acting to racing to home, family, and the press conference that is happening at Harrah's in Philadelphia. This is on Saturday, June 28th at 7:30. Where is the official fight? Is it going to be at Harrah's here?
I think they're getting the venue right now. I think it's going to be announced this Saturday at the press conference. But they have apparently they have a beautiful venue with thousands of seats that is probably going to be sold out, and is going to be sold out very quickly. And it's going to be in downtown Philly. For me right now, celebrity boxing is taking care of all that. Finally, right now, with we put all the the contracts and all the political stuff and all the business sides out of it, all the stuff out of the way. Right now, for me, is just training to a whole new level. I really want to test myself and go where I've never been before. And I've been pretty far, and I've done things that most people dream of, and impossible things. And I just, I'm so focused and excited about this training camp and what I'm about to do in this time of my life. I'm 53 years old, and I've been through so much, like you said, and I have a family who backs me up. I have my children who backs me up. I have a world who's there backing me up. And it's fascinating, and to take yourself and always challenging yourself. I always challenge myself. It wasn't when I was turning pro as a race car driver. Oh, you can't drive, it's a young man's sport, blah blah blah. And I did it. And I've always wanted to race, and I'm still gonna go race, and I'm still gonna race, and I'm still gonna make movies, and I'm still gonna do all those things. People say, now that you're boxing and you're making movies, yeah, I got a movie coming out. I just finished doing another one. I don't stop. I don't do things like everybody else. I don't follow the herd. Like, I'm doing movies. I'm producing films. I'm writing a book. It's out. I have a movie coming out. I'm boxing. I am planning on racing next year for car companies like McLaren or teams like McLaren. I want to race at Le Mans. I want to finish doing something like 24-hour Le Mans. I raced at Indianapolis, which was a goal for me, and my father was alive when that happened, so he saw me do that. So I have a lot of goals, and life is never over until it's over. So all those dreams and all those things that you want to do them no matter what time or age you're at. You're just going to keep on going. So I have a lot of stuff to do that I want to do. It's going to happen. And, I don't really sleep that much. I'm always 7 days a week going. That's just my personality. I need to always keep pushing and always finding out what the limit. And if I find that limit, I want to keep going to the next limit. And now it's boxing and with everything else going on. So let's go for it. Let's just do it all, everything.
What I hear is purpose. You enjoy having purpose.
Life is about purpose. It's about leaving a mark. It's about, when this is over and we go to heaven and this whole life and those material stuff is gone. What do you want to leave behind? And I want to leave something to my children, to my wife, to my family. Go, that guy right there, he never gave up. When they tried to blacklist me in Hollywood because my political view was different than theirs, I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. You want to take all my jobs away? I'm going to find jobs. You don't want to hire me in this city? I'm going to move out of this city. I'm going to start a new business. You don't want to hire me anywhere? I'm going to go in construction. You don't want to hire me in construction? I'm going to go in real estate. You don't want to do that? I'm going to make movies one day, and I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. I'm never going to give up. You're never going to put me in a corner. You're never going to tell Antonio Sabàto Jr. what to do and how to do it. And Hollywood has always been like that. You got to keep your mouth shut. When you go to parties, you got to be a certain way. You got to smile. I've never been that way, and I never will be. I'm going to be myself 24 hours. If you don't like it, it's not my fault. I could care less. We're not here on this planet to make people happy. We're here on this planet to live a fulfilled life, to live a healthy life, and to showcase what we can do as humans, and to be good about, obviously. But it's like that saying, you're on the plane. You put your mask first before you put it on somebody else. It means you take care of yourself first before you start taking care of other people. And that's what I do. It. If I'm not happy, if I don't do things that are good for me to make me a better human being, which means pushing myself, learning, doing all this, and going through grief, surviving grief, doing all these things, how do you expect to help people? There's certain individuals that like to help people all the time, and they forget about themselves, and they get overweight, and they stop taking care of their physical aspect because they care. That's fine. That's who they are. I want to take care of myself spiritually, physically, and mentally, and then I'm going to take care of the people that I love, and I'm going to take care of the world, and I'm going to go after everything. But I got to be in top shape here, and physically and spiritually, and have that connection. So, and I want to live my life based on my principles, not the principles that is given by society, not by principle that is given by Hollywood in the situation or this or that. I'm going to find my own principles that were implanted by my bloodline. I grew up in Rome, Italy. My mother was born in Prague in the Czech Republic. She had to deal with, things that most people never even, the socialist, her mother escaped Auschwitz, and their family was killed and taken on a train and killed in Auschwitz during World War II. My grandmother was killed by the Russians, which is my mother's mother. My mother couldn't even go back to Prague to be with her own mother because she was not allowed. My father was born in a small village in Montelepre outside of Palermo and created an amazing career as an actor by wanting and all that. It's in my bloodline. I have a bloodline of warriors, of gladiators, of people that never give up when they see death and they see destruction. We lost a home to a fire. We lost everything in Rome. Me, my sister, and my father and my mother and our little dog were stranded, watching our home being burned to the ground. And there was no friends around. All those Hollywood Italian actors that were there, supposedly, and my father helped out. Where were they? They were not there. There was nobody there. Oh, can we stay at your house? Unfortunately, our home is dead. We have two little kids over here. We're on the street. No, nobody took us in. You know who took us in? A stranger that we just met. My mother met a stranger the next day and said, listen, we have nowhere to go. None of our friends want to help us. Do you have any place we can stay? And she said yes. And to this day, she's a close friend of ours. So that's the type of people and then we came to this country, moving to America legally without taking any dime from this country, proud to become Americans, doing it the right way, legally. We came here to America the first time we ran out of money. And my mom decided to go back to Italy. Imagine moving your whole family from country to country, back and forth. I'm talking about selling your furniture, buying stuff, traveling, with your backpacks to another country, and then going back to Italy, and then I'm living in Rome again after I lived in America for 2 years, and then come. All these things can break you, or they can make you invincible. And that's what my family is. My family is made of invincibility, of where, you put these walls, we're going to go through the walls, we're going to climb the walls, we're going to go around the wall, we're going to make it through. And so that's the type of person I am. So that's why I'm fighting, because in this world, we fight in different ways. Sometimes we put gloves on. Sometimes we fight on our daily lives. Sometimes we fight with our partners in life in general. Fighting is part of living. And I've been fighting my whole life, and I've always won, and I'm going to continue winning. And with that mentality, you can't lose. You just can't. And that's implanted in me by my family and by God above.
I want to thank you for that.
It's my pleasure. I can only be real. People say, when I do lives, when I do this new social media and we talk to people and they go, wow, you're the most real person. I mean, I cannot be fake. I cannot show you something that I'm not. I cannot talk to you or anybody else and give you a different sense of who I am. I cannot do that. I cannot. It's against it's like lying. And lying is just one of those things that, and we do, people do that a lot, especially nowadays, because they have their phones and they can lie. They can make, and a small lie becomes a bigger lie, or a small lie stays a small forever. And then it's okay to lie. I just can't. I just cannot live in a lie. I have to live in total honesty and truthfulness in my life, and in my work, in my sports, in everything that I do. It's got to be honest to 100%, not 99. It's got to be honesty 100%. And if they get hurt from it, or people get their feelings hurt, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. For me, all that matters is that you're asking me a question, and I'm giving you my honesty, my 100% honesty.
Speaking of questions, I have some for you. Would you like to honestly answer them?
Absolutely, 100%.
In your film, Grace by Night, you explore redemption. What personal moment in your life most mirrors that journey of rebuilding from the ground up?
Wow, that was really me living that moment. I went through some very personal things at the time, in relations to my work, and people that let me down, and people that try to hurt me, people that try to take me down personally for their own personal reasons. And I was coming from a good place of helping people. Again, helping, being honest, was being taken advantage of. And that whole time, also being blacklisted and having no jobs, no way to pay your bills, and putting a helmet on and going in construction and working in concrete business, the concrete business. I became, and the way I was treated in that world in construction, and people know in construction is one of the toughest industry ever. They treat you like you're a piece of dirt. They treat you like you're a piece of concrete. And the way they talk to you, it's just the worst. And so I had to really swallow my pride and live through years of being treated like a peasant. And this is coming after 30 years of being in the industry, of working with Steven Spielberg, Heather Locklear, Aaron Spelling, doing over 100 movies and TV shows, and making a lot of money for a lot of agencies in Hollywood, who, by the way, when I was blacklisted, would never represent me. Would never. I've not had a theatrical agent since then. I represented myself. I have a sports agent, Donna, who's amazing, who's there supporting me, who's actually doing a lot for me. I have really good people in my world, but nothing in the theatrical world. And those people that I made money for many years, they never could care less for me at all. So during all that time, and then getting the chance to play this amazing film, was just incredible. It was therapeutic. And then going through my rehabilitation, I was addicted to drugs. I was taking pills. I was my marriage, and just all these things were going on. But God was working in me, going, I'm going to make you go through that so you can go through it and out of it. And I did. When I went to therapy, and I went to therapy, and when I went inside the hole, as I call it in Pasadena, when I went to rehab, that was the best time of my life. where I really found myself, where I was away from technology. I was with people that were either coming from prison or going to prison, people who died in front of me pretty much. I saw death with my own eyes. I was in a dark place, but that darkness turned out to be the light because I found out really what kind of person I am, how far I can go. And so I took all that and going through all that, and then the political world, I'm trying to do the right thing for our country. And then all those things happened, but they were building. There was like the fortress was like these shields were coming around me. I didn't know, but it was coming. Like I was getting stronger by the minute. And then I played this role of John in Grace by Night, and I really lived it, and that's why I got awarded a lot of awards. And the movie I wish the movie would have went into theaters. The producers and the director let it fall because that movie deserved to be in theaters, deserved to be fought for. I fought for it, but it was out of my hands. But still, the movie's beautiful, and I hope that the world gets to see it. Go and rent it or find it on Tubi or Prime or whatever it is, because Grace by Night is definitely one of the best films. And that to live through that as an actor, they say, I grew up watching, Marlon Brando and Paul Newman and Redford and, Steve McQueen, all the great ones, and my father too. And you hear these stories about living through a character, like really living through it. And I lived through it. And it was amazing. And it was an amazing experience. And I will cherish that movie and that experience always. And that, was something that I will never forget. It's just one of those films, and it shows. I think it shows because I see it and I see the pain and the struggle that I was going through, and the characters going through, and it works beautifully. And I hope the world gets to see it.
You've spoken about being blacklisted in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. How did that experience reshape your definition of success and belonging?
Well, first of all, success to me, what does that really mean? Is it the money you make? Is it the movies that you make? Is it who you're working with? To me, none of that really matters. Success is how you feel inside. Do you have peace? Are you a peaceful person? Can you sleep good at night and go, I'm with the right partner. I'm in the right house. I have all the things that I need. I have connection and understanding with God that is a personal thing that not a church or a priest or a preacher or anybody has there with me. It's me and the Spirit of God, and nobody can take that away. So that peace that you have is more precious and more important than the success and more important than money, because when you find yourself peaceful is where you can create the success. When you find peace, you don't need the crowds. You don't need the Hollywood. You don't need the agents. You don't need all these people going la, 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 because you're already fulfilled. You already have that peace in you. So by going through all that in my 40s, and now I find myself at 53, I'm at peace with myself. I make the right decisions. I know who I need, who I don't need. I have the right partners. I have all those things are right there. All the pillars that support me are there fully. And everything else is gone, deleted, blocked, gone forever. So Hollywood will never touch that. The power that they have in that town is only scared of me. They only fear. I am more powerful than they could ever be. So I'm glad. That's the peace. That's the success that I want. That. Because I see a lot of people in Hollywood who call success and millions of dollars and doing these huge films and all that stuff, and they're not at peace. They don't even see their own families. They don't even get along with people they're supposed to love. And they're being fake all the time. So they're living in a lie. I'm at peace. I can conquer anything at this point. And so most people in that world would wish, and that's priceless what I have. It's priceless. You can't pay for it. You wish, you can't. Because that world, and any world that you have a lot of money and a lot of deceit, who are you going to trust? Who are you going to go to?
And I want to expand a little bit on this because I found it absolutely unconscionable, because I was surprised by this. So we're going to go back to March 3rd of 2020. This is by Variety. I couldn't believe it when I read this. It's just absurd. Antonio Sabàto Jr. on how supporting Donald Trump ended his acting career. And here's what you had shared. I had to sell everything, Sabàto reveals in a phone interview with Variety from his new home in Florida. You said, I had to pay all my debts. I was blacklisted. All my representatives left me. From agents to managers to commercial agents, I literally had to move, find a new job to survive and take care of my kids. It's been terrible. It's mind-blowing. It's a disgrace. It's tough because if you're in an environment in Hollywood and you have something to say that they don't like, they're going to let you know. Is this still a repercussion today in 2025?
Not for me.
Good.
Not for me. No, I'm bulletproof. That is the person that I was just describing going through that at the time. And I didn't know at the time that I was becoming stronger than ever. I was becoming a superhero in every way. They can't touch me ever again. That will never happen again. God put me through that to have me go through it. And I went through it. And I'm glad I went through it, because right now the forces, the evil forces, all the forces that try to destroy will never touch me again, ever. And they can't. I'm indestructible now in every way, shape, or form. So I'm at peace, and that peaceful warrior that I am now is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I'm a better person all the way around and stronger than ever. I mean, that's why I'm fighting. That's why I'm racing. That's why I'm doing all the things that I'm doing. And I don't even worry about, there was a time in my life where there was a lot of praying involved. God help me. God send me this, send me that, show me the way. And for me personally, my relationship with God went through a whole different level, because right now I don't pray like that. I don't say, God, give me, give me, give me. I don't even actually pray to God about wanting anything, because I know what I got to do. God is my father. And as my father, he says to me, you're my son. I'm not going to give you everything on a platter. You're good enough to earn it. You're good enough to go in the field and cut everything and do whatever you got to do. You're good enough to build your own house. And I'm going to be watching because I'm proud of you. So my prayers to my father, God, is not give me, give me, give me. My prayers to my father is thank you, Lord. And that's it. Everything else, I got it. Everything else I'm doing, I got it. I don't need your help, Father. I don't. I appreciate you and I love you, but I don't need your help. I got it. And when I got to that point of knowing that I have everything in myself that God gave me, by the way, because he gave me that, and I realized that he already gave me everything I needed. See, people forget and they struggle with praying and wanting the money and wanting the relationship to finish and God is laughing, going, why are you asking me? Why are you praying to me about all this stuff? You already know what you got to do. You already have everything you got. You already know you have all the elements, all the tools to get everything you need and some. The world that you are describing to God, you already have. He already made you perfect in his own image. What else do you want? So when I got to that point to the struggle, I realized that I got everything. And when I realized that I want this and I'm going to get it, I want this and I'm going to get it, I want this and I'm going to get it, it's all there. It's all there already. The money, the this, the that, all is there for me. I don't even worry about it, because right now I'm like a racing horse to do what I got to do. And I appreciate him for that. And I appreciate my father that did not give me everything in a silver platter, that told me to go in the fields. And you're going to have tough days, but you're going to go through it because you are my champion. And so when I believe and know in myself that I am that person, that I am that hero, that I am that champion, that warrior, that gladiator already, every day of my life, man, I went through a whole different stratosphere. And they say, how do you do this? Because that's how I do it. How do you train? How do you do this? How do you do all these things? How do you do movies and fighting? And because I'm just told you that God gave me everything I need already. And now that I already know what that bat suit, the Batman suit is already there. I already know that my destiny is set and nobody's going to come in the way. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. So I'm at a place right now, and if I can share that to people that are lost, praying all the time on their knees, please, please help me. And God is still going. If you find the way and actually take your step back and look in the full picture and go, why am I begging for this? Why am I begging to God to give me a better life? I already have that life. I already have it. I already know what I got to do. I already know what's in me already. So, and I think people forget that. People forget and they're distracted and they see the darkness and they become weaker and weaker instead of knowing that, man, you're a lot more powerful than you think. You have no idea what you can possibly do. I mean, look, we build pyramids, we build the Colosseum, we build the Sistine Chapel. A man painted it upside down for 3 years. How do you think he did that? We have given up on humans as beings astronomically great because we are praying and giving up and going, yes, give me, give me. Hollywood, give me. Agent, give me. See, it works the same way. Drugs, give me. My partner that I hate so much, give me. All these things are working all upside down. They're all working against you. And if you find that you can slow down and go, man, I really wasted my time. And now I see it in a different way. And that's what changes everything. And so the best years of my life are right now. And the things that I'm going to be doing right now, oh, I'm just so excited. I am so happy and excited about what the world is going to see with me. I give myself 100% of credit. I love myself so much that and the love that I give myself that I know that I have, I give to my wife, I give to my kids, I give to my work, I give to God, I give everything because there's more. There's just more. And my performance and this, whatever I do. And so I'm going to achieve everything. It's great. I am just on a different level right now.
I can feel it. Not only hear
Yeah.
it, I can feel it.
Yeah. It's true.
If you could write a letter to your younger self on the set of General Hospital, what would you warn him about and what would you thank him for?
I would say, even back then, I would say everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be just fine. You just hold on. You just hold on and don't give up. And everything's going to be fine. And I would say at the time, you're doing just fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. People always say, I loved you when you were on General Hospital or when you did this show. And I'm like, I never look back. That was a time in my life and I appreciate everything that I've done, but there's so much more importance and beauty in the present of right now. What's going on right here that people forget, because anytime you go back, they want you to go back because they want to live that moment again. It takes it away from the precious time that we have right here. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't go back. You can't go back in that time. You got to live in the present right now. So important to live right now, because if you don't live for the moment, anytime you give the credit to that world that you can't have again, it takes it away from the present of right now. And that's why it's called a present, because it's a gift to be in the now. And if you're here now, present in everything that you do, you're really active. Like I've been talking and blabbering for a while now. You appreciate the life that you're given, where, I don't know, it's just the amount of love and affection and energy you can give back to the world when you live it that way. I've always seen it with people that I admired. Michael Jordan, a person that I hung out with, I admired that, and I always wondered, how do you win these championships? Because he lived in the moment. Michael Schumacher, 7-time world champion, God bless his soul. My father, the way he lived his life to the moment, the way he laughed, and there was issues that would come in, and I would say, Dad, Papa, I'll call him Papa. I said, Papa, why aren't you worried? And he'd be like, worried about what? And I never understood that. And now I get it. Worry about nothing. Live in the moment. Don't worry about anything. Because that worry of things that you can't control takes it away from the gift that you have of living in the present. And that it means a truthful, honest present. And once you live in that honesty, like I said, peace, you can't, it's priceless. You can't exchange it. You can't pay for it. You can't order it on Amazon. It's something that few people that we admire, that most people admire, have, and it's called peace.
You've lived in the spotlight and in the shadows. What has anonymity taught you that fame never could?
Well, fame is a funny word. Fame, you know, what is fame? You know, the only famous person in my life, truthfully, has been two people in my life who have really truly been famous. That is Jesus Christ and my father. And they both have something in common. They're both the father figure in my life. And everybody else have not, you know, fame is based on your last project, on the money, or how much success is. But fame is comes and goes. It's like a cold. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. And but that peace again is more precious, more important. So what the industry has taught me by being at very highs and very lows is that it never matters. None of it matters. None of it truly matters. Because if you take one away, then it reflects on the other. You know, if you're famous one day and you take it away, can you live without it? And most people go to, you know, addiction, and most people fall off the wagon and suicide, and the list goes on, because that fame is not there. How many children in Hollywood who become really famous and all of a sudden they're not getting hired anymore because they are basing their lives on that fame, because they're not liked anymore. They change their aspect. They're not kids and cute anymore. They're becoming teenagers, and and all of a sudden things change and you're not wanted anymore. But are you wanted by who exactly? You know, so that's weakness. And so to me, fame is a strange word. It comes and it goes like a cold. And to me, the ultimate word is peace. Because peace can give you peace no matter what. In the storm, in the sunlight, in the calm, in the ocean, or whatever, you're at peace. You can conquer anything. And if they take that material stuff away, that movie, that fame, that agency, or whatever it is in Hollywood, you're still okay with it. And I wish that everyone could find that peace, because ultimately you will win by having that. Peaceful warriors will never lose.
What's a belief or value you've held on to that the world tried to take from you, but you refused to let it go?
My faith with Jesus Christ. That is a personal faith. It's not with the church. It's not with the pastor. It's not with the preacher. It's my relationship with Christ that is between me and Jesus Christ that nobody will ever know. That Hollywood or everybody else tried to, because even the Christian community has a way of being perfect and trying to teach you how you're supposed to, the gospel and all this. You're not going to teach me anything. You're not going to tell me how to speak to my Jesus Christ. Nobody will. Not a church, not a pastor, not a verse from the Bible, nobody. It's me and Jesus Christ alone. And so over the years, I've always been like, there's purpose in how you're supposed to and how you're supposed to do this. And no. The relationship with me and Christ from birth that I've had, even before birth, because Christ already knew about me, is precious. And everyone should have that relationship, because that relationship will build and get stronger and stronger. Whereas churches have failed, preachers have failed, Pastors have failed. Oh my goodness. Pastors that I've known have cheated and have failed over and over, and they have lied. But my relationship with Christ has always been solid. Always. So yeah, and probably more than ever, because, and I'm not the one coming with the Bible and going, you got to follow this, or you got to do this, or you got to go with the church. No, 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 no. If you ask me my relationship, and I'll tell you exactly what my relationship with Jesus Christ is, between me and him. You don't have to be in this conversation. You'll never be in this conversation. It's between me and Jesus. And if you don't believe in any of it, it doesn't matter to me one bit. My purpose is to keep having that relationship. That's it.
Yeah.
Because that relationship makes me at peace, makes me whole, and I appreciate that. Others' opinions, or people's opinions, or humans' opinions, especially now in my life, means absolutely nothing.
You hit the boxing
Zero.
nails through the board with one hammer swing on that. I love it.
Yeah.
We're in sync. You've trained for the ring and for the screen. How do you mentally prepare for a fight versus a film role, and which one demands more vulnerability?
They both do. I mean, the fighting world, and the acting world are very similar, because you're fighting for something that you don't know the outcome of. But you do know that if you put as much work and concentration and dedication to something, that the outcome will be great. Like, to really focus and do something so perfectly that every minute, every being, every part of your being is part of that the outcome can only be great. There's no insecurities there, because the work and dedication is greater than anything else. It's greater than anybody else. Nobody's ever seen what I do, especially the dedication and the hard work. I don't see it. I don't see it with professional athletes. The way that I work on things. And I back it up. I'm not the one to say, oh, I work really hard. It's me. I don't need attention. But I take pride in doing something that 1% of the world is doing. And that also happened in show business, because when I do movies, I take the time to get to know the crew. I take the time to get to know everybody on the set. I don't come in and go, and I'm the actor. I'm just going to talk to the actors. Actually, the actors are the last people I talk to. I want to talk to the makeup artist. I want to talk to the transpo guy. I want to talk to the guy who's making the food for me. You know what I mean? Those people who work really hard. The carpenter who built the set. The electrician who put the set and put the cables down and protected me from not stepping on that cable and getting hurt. Or the stunt guy. I want to talk to those people, because those people make the film. So my father always taught me that you go to work, you punch in and you punch out. They ask me, who do you hang out with in the business? Who's your favorite actors or whatever? Out of all the actors that I know, nothing to take away from them, but actors are a very specific type of people. And I'm a normal guy when I go home. I don't want to talk about acting. Nobody wants to hear that. And I don't talk about myself. I'm talking to you because we're doing an interview. But when I'm at home, I don't talk about my movies, or all the movies that I've done. And, when I go on movie sets, I want to be real to the people that I'm talking to. And I want to be one of the guys. I punch in and punch out. I have a great friend of mine. His name is Robert Rabaya. He's my best friend. He lives in Australia. He's a true friend of mine. He's my brother. He's a well-known actor. But besides that, I know a lot of people in the industry. I know a lot of people that I work with that I have great respect, but they're not my friends. I mean, friendship is a different story. They're acquaintances. We work together. If they need me for anything, they can call me. And I'm the most professional guy to work on a movie set. Never had issues. I never dated anybody I work with. I never mixed the two. But I have real people. And I don't need that many people anyway. I don't need the entourage. I already had that. I already had the entourage, people that came and I helped them out, build them out of prison, did all this stuff for many years. I'm 53. I lived a full life. But I don't have those people in my life. They come and go. I have my girl, I have my kids, I have a few friends that I really love. I have my family in Italy, and that's it. And if they want to hire me, they know how to find me. If they want an actor who's going to push the limits, they got me. I'm never going to let them down. I'll be the first one on movie set and the last one to leave. And I'll make sure that the movie is perfect, and I'll do my job even more so. They know that. But I'm not the one that goes and hangs out with all these actors and all this other stuff and talks and does the line game and the all those the playing, the show business type. And I'm not that. I'm not that. I want to do it my way, which is real. And everybody wants to be a star on a movie set. There's no stars. There's no such thing. I'm an actor like everybody else. You're an actor like everybody else. We're part of this movie. We're playing games. We're portraying something that we're not. We're having fun. It's a circus. And we're getting paid for it. But don't treat it like you walk on water, because you're not Jesus. And most actors do. They think that because they're doing films and doing this, they live on a different stratosphere, or they're more important than other people. No, they're not. You're not. And neither am I. And so that's the type of guy I am. And so I'm going to keep making movies my way, and with that type of attitude, and the good people who know me. And if you want to be my friend, then you're going to have to put the time and earn my friendship. Because if you do earn my friendship, you're going to have a guy next to you who's going to die for you. And there's not many people that will do that, especially with honesty and truthfulness, which most people in Hollywood don't do, because they'll lie to their teeth to get the job. They'll lie to keep your friendship. They'll lie to their agents just to be in that environment. They'll put their feelings aside or their true sense because they don't want to get fired. With me, there's none of that. You ask me something, like I said, doesn't matter where I'm at. If I'm a press conference in front of Vanity Fair or the Hollywood Reporter or the president of Paramount Pictures, I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm not going to hide away and go, oh, I got to keep my mouth shut because he's here. No, that's not me. And, it's like living these two lives that Hollywood lives. They talk a big game about this on the red carpet, and they go home and they're drinking 6 bottles of wine and getting wasted. And then 20 minutes earlier on the red carpet, they said, well, I don't drink. I am just clean as a whistle. Or I see my family, and then some of these actors haven't seen their siblings or their daughters or their sons in 30 years. You see what I mean? So I don't lie. I keep it honest, and that's my life, and that's the way I want it. That's the way I live it.
I'm going to say that is absolutely true. That's why I tell people all the time, don't get fooled by the facade. It's all smoke and mirrors.
It is correct. 100%.
You've raised children while navigating public scrutiny. What's the most important lesson you hope they learn from your journey?
Well, that their father loves them more than anything, that he's a real guy, that there's nobody like their dad, somebody who's gone overboard for them and did everything he could possibly do to be the best father possible, to be truthful, to showcase that, also I was not perfect as a father. I was trying to be perfect as a father, but as a human being, I was failing at times. And also those failures, they know that it's part of lives. And they also see that, wow, my father was honest enough to tell me. And my father was honest enough to live an honest life and to fight for his beliefs. And they have it in them. They have it in them. My children do. And also I keep my children very private. I'm not like one of these Hollywood people that showcase every move they make on social media. I know it's part of our lives, but they wake up in the morning and they have to be showcasing everything. They got to take their kids to school, showcase that. They got to, every move is made. No, I try to keep, especially my children, very private. Okay. And my girl too. My partner is very private to me. I'm very proud of her, but I also keep my precious things in my life very private.
If you could direct a film about your life, what scene would you insist be shot in one take, and why?
I would probably have a scene with me and my father in one scene. Yeah. I would, and there's a story that my father wrote called Moments That Count, in life, moments that count in life, but it's moments that count, about a boxer and I'm going to make this film. And there will be a scene in there where he will talk to his father, and I'll be talking to my dad in that scene, and I will make it someday. We did it in Grace by Night too, by the way, when John's father was in the bed, pretty much living his last moments before he went to heaven, John's father. But I'm telling you, that movie was had a lot of things that just really made me a better person. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad that movie was made.
What legacy do you want to leave, not just in entertainment? I got to look at my question. Or politics, but in the hearts of those who followed your story?
It always goes back to the same thing where, I believe that life is precious, and I want to leave a mark where, and it's always the same thing, when you hear it all the time, never giving up, but it's really true. It's like Christopher Columbus trying to reach the motherland on the other side, and all the sailors are giving up, and they want to hang this man and kill him and go back to Spain or go back to Italy. And he's like, give me a chance. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. And to have that faith, and ultimately, I guess it would be faith. To have faith. What is really faith? How far are you willing to hold that faith? And faith has done miracles. Faith and hope has done so many miracles for people to stick it around and go, I never give up. I could have given up. I could have let myself go. I could have taken my life. I could have taken my life, but I'm still here. What happened if I did take my life? And look how many things you're doing great by having that faith and holding on and not giving up that precious life. And I think people give that precious life away, and you'll never know. And so hold on to that faith, because what if you do reach the motherland? So I guess I would leave that. I would leave having faith and hope, and never giving up until you reach that motherland, until you reach your dreams and your goals, no matter what.
If there's one thing you want to set the record straight about, what would it be?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm never going to retire. I'm never going to stop making movies. I'm never going to stop boxing. I'm never going to stop racing cars. I'm never going to stop loving my girl and my children and making the impossible possible. I'm never going to stop doing that, period. And I'm never going to stop loving Jesus Christ. So all those things, yeah. And I'm never going to stop loving my country of Italy, the passion that country has in my bloodline, the Italian passion, which is beautiful. And what this country of America has taught me, as well. So, yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Anything you want to close with?
I just want to thank you for having me on. I want to thank all the fans, everyone who's watching, all the viewers and listeners. I want to wish everyone nothing but the best in everything that they're doing or going through. Yeah, I think I want to leave them with the best is yet to come. Keep smiling, keep breathing, keep looking at the sun and the moon, and look in the mirror. Look in the mirror, look at yourself, and go, "Hey, I'm not too bad.
No, you're not
too bad.
No, you're not. You're outstanding." Man, this has been incredible. I'm always here for you, no matter what. And if you ever need an actor for your film, I will be. Please,
sure,
I'll even do the PR for free. I'll come in and I'll help with the PR of it.
Listen, let's hope that I'm in a position to do that for you and so many others, and give more productions and be able to do that, which is going to happen. And yeah, let's see what happens. The best is yet to come.
Absolutely. So once again, we've got Antonio Sabàto Jr. He's a race car driver, an established actor, model, professional boxer, and he's going to be at Harrah's in Philadelphia on Saturday, the 28th, this week at 7:30 p.m. You can RSVP at xrumble.com, especially if you are a journalist. I don't know if are they doing anything outside of the media, or is this just for the media?
Anybody can show up. Just RSVP, and obviously we want the fans, the viewers, anyone can show up. Yeah, you're welcome.
And this is just the press conference, the official fight we need to find out later on, or we will.
Yeah, you will find out that night. It's going to be in downtown Philadelphia. You'll be able to find everything out at celebrityboxing.com. They also have an app, Celebrity Boxing. You can download it, and we'll post the venue. You'll be able to buy tickets next week for the fight, September 26th in Philadelphia, and you'll be able to watch it and see it in person as well, starting very soon. And you can get everything at celebrityboxing.com or the app.
And all things Antonio Sabàto Jr. We are connected on Instagram, but that is your name, your full handle?
Yep. My full handle is Antonio Sabàto Jr. on Instagram, and also Celebrity Boxing puts a lot of stuff out there as well. But yeah, check me out on Instagram. That'll be the easiest way, and I'll post all the things that I can as soon as I know.
I want to thank everyone who's tuned in to Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio, power985.com. Download the app, tune in on Alexa. Power 98.5 is available on Apple Music, and we stream live on like 7-8 other platforms such as Live Radio FM, Streema, MyTuner, Live FM, and more. If you happen to miss this live episode on Power 98.5, it will be available on any one of your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. But we always want you to be here first and foremost is on Power 98.5. So check the schedule. This episode will re-air again as a live. I'm thinking it will probably be... Tomorrow's Friday, maybe Saturday, Sunday. I mean, we've got to get it in for like at least the 28th. So I'm going to say, check the schedule. We're going to either have it for Friday or on Saturday. And like I said, this should be available on your favorite podcast platforms no later than by Saturday as well. Any upcoming films, post-production, pre-production, anything like that we should be watching on top of?
This fall I have a movie coming out, a horror movie called 426 from Ephesians 426. It's a full distribution nationwide. It'll be in theaters this fall, 426.
Are they having a red carpet opening premiere?
They will have it, I think, in Detroit where we shot it.
Wow.
So yeah, we will have it in Detroit this fall, and I'm very excited about this film. This is another good one, real good one.
And then also Grace by Night. I've got to watch that one.
Yeah, Grace by Night.
All right,
Absolutely.
That's awesome. First time I ever heard of a red carpet premiere in Detroit.
Yeah, it's a beautiful town. I really love shooting there and working in Detroit. It's really one of my favorite towns. It's really blowing up. I'm really happy about what's going on in Detroit, in the film industry, but also overall. I was just there playing golf with Mark Wahlberg and wonderful champions, boxers and stuff. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful town.
Well, thank you again. And thank you to everyone. We love you. Be well, live well. As Antonia had shared, hold your faith close to you if you are a person of faith and are faithful. And remember, you have it all within you. Have a great day, everyone.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.
Recording stopped.